My name's Troy Ward, and I'm a recovering addict from heroin, cocaine, and crystal meth. I have a program called Fear Relief. We stand for Fight Everything and Recover, and we're getting bigger in Defiance, but we're basically based out of Williams County. But the one thing I do want to say that I'm grateful for is Matt Smithmeyer, which is a deputy here who saved my life on November 12th of 2015 when I overdosed on heroin after being 5 months clean. In June, I overdosed on cocaine, but the moment in my life that changed my life where I started believing in my higher power, which I choose to call God, was on November 12th. And basically, Matt Smithmeyer, all the time EMSs and EMTs carry Narcan, and I'm real big on Narcan now. And my God moment was the night before I overdosed. Matt Smithmeyer and the deputies at Fulton County was trained on Narcan, where they never had it before. He showed up 12 minutes before the first responders and gave me my first 2 shots of Narcan. Now, it took 7 more after that, but if it wasn't for him and keeping air in my lungs for 20 minutes of his own air, I would have died. So I'm very appreciative of Fulton County. This is our first appearance here. You know, we've been throwing rallies in Williams County and Defiance. We're invited down to Cincinnati, Dayton, Chillicothe. You know, we've reached out. We're also a part of an organization. You know, I don't want to be vulgar or nothing, but it is called, I'll just say the F Heroin Foundation, which is one of the biggest heroin foundations across the country. And they help mentor me too. And they've taught me a lot of things. You know, the biggest thing that we like to do, we have meetings, support group meetings. And when we meet a new addict, you know, a lot of times they've lost everything. They're rock bottom. They don't have no family, no friends. They've done burn all their bridges. You know, they're ate up, and a lot of times they're suicidal, you know. And they read our posts, they reach out to us and stuff. And when they do, we take them to a detox center. And right now we're up to 42 detoxes out of Williams and Defiance County. I have one in Henry, none in Fulton yet, but we want to reach out here. But out of them 42, we got a 50% success rate, you know, so that's pretty good. But we're hitting recovery with religion and recovery at the same time. So I'm under fire for that. You know, a lot of people don't like that, but I'm gonna stand my ground. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You know, when we put somebody in a detox center, we go in and work with them on one angle, and then we have our pastors and other people go in on another angle. You know, we don't try to push religion on everyone. And I always tell them when I put them in the detox center, but some about it seems to be working. So we don't care about anybody that has anything to say about us using religion in recovery. We're gonna stand our ground. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing. You know, there definitely needs to be awareness. The one problem I don't like around here, we need to start knowing numbers. You know, we need to start knowing how many overdoses. We shouldn't have to wait for one of our friends to die to know how many's going on. You know, last month in Williams County, we had 4 overdoses that were deadly. That's us researching it. You know, and I'm just gonna give you Andy Weiler real quick. This is my stats guy, and he can tell you about overdoses in Ohio real quick and tell you who he is.
Hi, I'm Andy Weiler. I got 55 days sober today. And it's only because of God and my higher power. But first I want to start off by saying I'm very grateful for the cops who kicked my door in. They wouldn't have kicked my door in, they saved my life. But yeah, it's up to 3,074 since first day of this year of deaths in Ohio. That's the ones that are on the record. There you got, there's 1,167 of them are all due to fentanyl. But it's ridiculous. And you know, we need to get this out. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to do this because I know I come from where a lot of them are. It's easier for somebody to say, I know what I know what you've been through when they've been there. It's easier to relate. And I want to thank all you guys for being here, all you guys showing your support and letting us have a chance to share. This is my buddy Jared. He's part of it.
I'm Jared Penrod. I'm grateful to be here. My drugs of choice were heroin and meth, and I've been clean since January 9th.
Hi, my name is Ashley Ostinger. My drugs of choice were narcotics and pain meds. I've been clean for 22 days.
See, it takes an addict to help an addict. You can be in that dark hole. You know, your pastor comes by, your friends come by, your parents come by, counselor, sheriff, judge, probation officer. People come by trying to get you out of there. They just don't seem to happen. With us, we found a way. We jump in that dark hole with them. We don't care. We'll go down there and sit with them, let them know, hey, we've been here before, bro. Follow us. If you do what we do, we'll try to guide you to the light. It's not 100% successful, but we teach them how to chase their recovery like they chase their dope man. They get up and go. We're constantly doing events. We're trying to do meetings as much as we can. You know, we're always on the phone with each other. We're reaching out. When we have a new addict come in, we put our arms around them. We tell them we love them. We believe in them. I told this man I believed in him over and over. And this is the guy we have in the newspapers. They announced him as Andy Weiler for president. I kept telling him Weiler for president. He didn't understand it first. That means you can do anything. You could be president. You could run this country. It don't matter. You put your mind to it, you get off the damn drugs, you can do anything you want. You know, back when we was kids, we all had dreams. We want to be this, we want to be that. And then something happened, you know. There's always some underlying issue with an addict of why they are the way they are. And when I went to Fresh Start, which I want to say what's up to my boys out here, all right, Fresh Start helped save my life. There was a counselor there that helped me dig my past out and find out that my childhood was my underlying issue. And when I was able to get that out, and she taught me how to use it as a strength to help other people, other boys that's been abused as a child, other boys that was mentally messed up and told they're retarded and stupid and dumbass and get smacked up. We help them. We reach out to them. I can use that as a strength now and help them. You know, we're under fire right now. A lot of times we need a detox center. The only way we can put anybody in detox is if you say you're suicidal, you know. So out of them 42, yeah, maybe I messed up. 7 of them I did tell to say that, you know. So I'm a little bit under fire with the hospitals and whatnot. But they've also apologized and they understand what I'm doing because they had somebody that reached out, tried to put them in a detox center. 2 days later, they got rejected. They weren't suicidal enough. 2 days later, they overdosed. Thank God for Narcan because it saved their life. Which, by the way, I carry Narcan everywhere with me. At first, a lot of people said that we shouldn't have our members carry Narcan. See, in our group, we have junior recovery members at 0 to 60 days. We have members at 60 to 120 days. And then I have my senior recovery members that I use that's going to be going into schools with me. They have 4 months sobriety and above, been into rehab. I love you, Joey. I want you to join. But these guys have worked with their past, been in counseling, and the only way a junior recovery member can hang out with anyone is if we have a senior recovery member with them. Because if I put 2 junior recovery members together, you know, chances of relapse is pretty high. You know, it's like mixing fire and gas together, you understand? So we've tried to put a program together. We don't deal with drama, but we do help with relapses. Relapses do happen. And a lot of time you have guilt, you have shame. You don't believe in yourself no more. We pick them back up, tell them, you know what, just dust it off. Let's get back to where we were, you know? Don't fall apart. You fall down, you get up. It's not how hard you fall, it's how fast you bounce, you know? And you need support. You need other addicts, okay? You need the counseling. I believe in recovery services. I believe in Renewed Minds. I love them both. I refer a lot of people there. I've referred 47 people to Vivitrol. That's my goal. When I put them in detox, I try to keep them away from Arrowhead. No offense from Suboxone, but I'm an old dope boy, okay? They used to bring Suboxone to me and I give them dope. I take it as cash, okay? Now, recovery services have put something together where they're able to taper them down and they actually do pill counts on them now where they can check it. I think that's great. Okay, I still don't promote it. I'm big on Vivitrol. It takes the cravings away. You know, in AA and NA, you know, we say take it 1 day at a time. With Vivitrol, I can take it 28 days at a time. And when they get out of detox, I got 28 days to work with them, get them set up with recovery services, okay? Get them for their next shot, be able to work with them as a support team, have my senior recovery members wrap their arms around them, you know, and that's what we do. You know, we want to come over here to Fulton County, so if there's anybody here that can help set us up, we want to do a rally here. And we want to go big, and we'll fly signs. You know, we have megaphones, we have speakers. You know, I have other heroin recovery teams in Ohio that's reached out to me. I'm connected with a lot of them, you know, and they're all saying the same thing. We need detox centers. We need a state of emergency. We have tornadoes that come through that rip up homes. Nobody died. That was a state of emergency. How many deaths in Cincinnati?
Been 200 of them in the last 17 days.
200 overdoses. Now, Cincinnati will tell us how much they have. You know what I mean? We need to know too, but we need detox centers and we're pushing for it. We're pushing every which way. And I actually talked to a doctor the other day. He does a lot of detoxes for us. He said we're going to start detoxing at home. I don't know how that's going to work. We're going to be able to go there and work with them. They're not going to give the patients the meds. The nurses are going to show up there 4 or 5 times a day. They're going to check their blood pressure. We're going to drop urine on them, okay? And we're going to be able to give them meds throughout it where they're able to detox. Stuff like Imodium, Phenergan for nausea, you know, all kinds of stuff that the horrible detox. Most people don't want to go through that detox. The problem that we're finding is we have heroin addicts that don't want to detox because it sucks. It's the worst feeling in the world. You feel like you're dying. So they switch to meth, all right, to get off the heroin. Now all of a sudden we're hooked on meth. So we're facing double jeopardy. So we have cross addictions going on. Now recently we've had a couple people that were hooked on meth that went to heroin to get off the meth and just get some sleep because they've been up too long. Then they get hooked on heroin. You know, so it's hard, you know, but we're doing everything that we can over there. You know, we want to start a team over here. You know, I know a couple Fulton County people, but we love you, and I love Matt Smithmeyer. And officer back there, I saw you at the fair. You tell Matt Smithmeyer I love him, and thank you. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. My kids, I lost them for a year. I fought. I did everything I can. I went to rehab. I was in rehab for 4.5 months total. I was in jail for 90 days total. Did a program in there, okay? Was in psychiatric hospitals for 5 weeks. On June 8th, 2015, my best friend wanted to hang out, and I blew him off to hang out with 2 dope girls. He died that night of a heroin overdose. So the next night, I was using needles, and I shot a bunch of cocaine trying to take my life, and I ended up in a coma for 4 days. You know, and I thought right then, I told myself, if I ever use again, I'm gonna die. And I went 5 months clean. And I went to the emergency room in Bryan, and my mouth was all swelled up from a tooth. And I told them I was a recovering addict, but at the point I really didn't care. I just wanted the pain to go away. They gave me a shot of Dilaudid, and instantly in my mind it snapped. And I was ready to go to Toledo and get some dope. Took about 4 days after that, went and got it, first shot, had fentanyl in it, died on the spot. They did 45 minutes of CPR. I was pronounced dead, coroner was on his way. As a dying swan, they dropped me on the gurney a foot up. And when they did, all the Narcan in my nose went straight to my brain, and I sat up. And some people say when they die, they might see a light or something like that. My worst fear growing up was drowning, because in the Atlantic Ocean, Cocoa Beach, I almost drowned at 5 years old. And it's always scared me, and every time I woke up from the Narcan, it was at least 6, 7 times that I woke up, I felt like I was being submerged underwater and couldn't breathe, and it was the worst nightmare of my life. So I feel like maybe it was hell, and you relive your worst nightmare over and over and over. And now my drive is myself first, with my kids, losing my kids, you know, and it pushed me. It pushed me to get back up, you know, because we stay on the ground. We just don't, after we relapse, we don't want to live no more. We're like, man, I got 5 months down. How am I going to get back to that again? You know? And I don't know. My buddies at Fresh Start, you know, Joey's a big impact on me. You know, we always, you know, sometimes we have disputes and stuff, but that man right there, I got a lot of respect for him. My guy back there, Naaman, he's had plenty of talks with me and talked me out of getting violent and stuff. You know, but I was able, after I got rid of my past, I was able to let go of all my anger. You know, it's like a big weight off my shoulder. So I always suggest that to people. You know, counseling helps, definitely. Find the underlying issue. If y'all want help, reach out to us. We love you, Fulton County. That's all I got.